So I've wanted to make this video for a really long time. It is February and I released my EP November 21st, which is on my birthday. And I really wanted to sit down and talk about the process of how I made the EP and also how I made the visualizers. I have my little notebook here so that I don't forget. This EP took me a really long time to make, and I feel like it was the best thing that I've made so far. Even though I am super proud of Dear Diary, I think that Kiss Kiss Kill Kill is kind of like the evil stepchild that like nobody cares about. But I just think it's really fun. I just always enjoy when I hear artists talk about their creative process and how they go about making their works in art and also in music. So I just wanted to talk about this today. I had been working on these songs for a really long time. I had recorded 2313 first. I recorded that in like January of 2022, but I had written it in 2021. I had written it kind of like right after I had released Dogwood and Fluster. I feel like I have so many songs that I just like forget when I write them. So I released 2313 as a single. I wasn't sure how long it would take me to make another EP, and originally I wanted to do a full album of 12 songs. But I realized really quickly that that was just not going to be possible just because I don't have enough money, and I record in Maryland because it's cheaper too, and also I work with my friend AJ at 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒓𝒕𝒔𝒊𝒄𝒌 Studios in Salisbury, and I would rather work with someone that I know and I'm more comfortable with than trying to like pay $500 an hour here for somebody that I don't know who's not going to listen to me. So I had recorded 2313, and then after that I quickly started writing more music. So let's see, I'm trying to think of the order that I wrote the songs. I wrote Closer, I think, first, and then I wrote Fairmount and Violets and Chains basically at the same time, because I wrote Fairmount first when I was in Ireland, and I remember that I thought that the song was too slow and I didn't really like it, and I wanted it to be like more poppy and upbeat. So I rewrote it as Violets and Chains. That's why the beginning of the song has the same lyrics as Fairmount. But then when I showed my friends both of the versions and I was like, which one do you like better? They were like, girl, we like both of these songs. Just release both of them. And so I just decided to release both of them. So I wrote Beautiful Princess Disorder kind of like way after that, basically like a whole year later. I have way more songs written than I actually put on the EP. That's why there was such like a big gap between those songs. And so I wrote Beautiful Princess Disorder, which was originally, I was just gonna name it BPD. And then like right before I recorded everything, I wrote The Way I'm Fake, which I wasn't sure what I wanted to name the song. So that's why I named it that. And I feel like I clickbaited people, which I'm kind of like sad about, because everyone, when I like released the EP, everyone listened to that song first, and it's like the slowest one. I feel like my favorite songs are Fairmount and Beautiful Princess Disorder. I recorded Heartsick in October, very first week of October, and that was the only time that I was going to be able to record this because my sister is pregnant. She's actually about to have her baby in a couple of days. But at this time in October, she was having like a gender reveal party. And it's just hard because I work full-time. I work at the New York Academy of Art, which I also graduated from. I had gotten sick like right before I had to go home, and I got COVID, and I had this like horrible cough and was like coughing up phlegm. It was so bad. I've had COVID 3 times, and every single time I get it, I have a cough for like 2 months. So I can't believe that I recorded that whole EP with like a fucked up voice and it came out sounding like as good as it did. And I also did like a live recording of me singing Violets and Chains, and I also did a podcast. You can see I'm like coughing in the podcast. My voice was like so messed up. That's why in some of the takes I notice it where like my voice, I have like really bad vocal fry, and it's because I just had a really bad cough. I recorded each song in one day. Kind of just recorded them in order. What I do when I go into the studio is basically I make like a playlist of songs that I was inspired by or want my song to kind of like sound like that song. So a couple of the songs that I brought to AJ were the whole like Guts album by Olivia Rodrigo. I remember I was listening to it like every single day and like blasting it in the car on the way to the studio. And I really loved Pretty Isn't Pretty and Lacy. And I was super inspired by like the layering of melodies and how she kind of does a lot of like oohs and ahs in the background of her songs. So I feel like you can really hear the inspiration of like the layers in the in Violets and Chains, where I go like manipulating, so irritating, I see right through you, and also kind of like Beautiful Princess Disorder, even though there's not so much like layering, I would say, in that song. Also really inspired by Here's Where the Story Ends by the Sundays, and also Black Sheep by Metric. Shout out to Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, so I just brought those songs to AJ and I was like, this is what I want this song to sound like, this is what I want this song to sound like, and we kind of like took inspiration, and I tried to listen to the background vocals and kind of just like steal ideas of like how I could layer the songs. I didn't want to do too many layers because I was also thinking about like Paramore, and when you listen to like a Paramore song, there's not a lot going on besides like Hayley's just strong main vocals. So I feel like my voice is strong enough, and because these were like kind of like alternative songs and not as like poppy as like Kiss Kiss Kill Kill, that, for example, like the song The Way I'm Fake, that's all just one take. There is not a single second layer. There's not even a dub. And a dub is like when you sing the song and then you sing the exact way a second time just so that it like adds more fullness. I just wanted it to be like one vocal. Doing these songs all in one day was definitely really hard, but I just didn't have any more time. Overall, like at the end, I was happy with like all of the takes, even though I did it on such like a limited time schedule. It was like the craziest week ever because I was trying to like see everybody, but I had to go to the studio every day, and I was like just getting over being sick, and I was driving around all over Kingdom Come. Best part about being able to do this with AJ though was that he just like listens to whatever I say, and I know that's like the bare minimum, but it's not though, because I've worked with so many people and it can be hard like with other creatives, especially when people have like their own creative vision. And I'm not talking about in music, because like Thomas Moreno Holt was great, and he always listened to me, but I'm talking about just like in general. It's hard when you have like two really strong people kind of like butting heads together and saying like, no, I think this will be better, or like, no, this is gonna be better. Being able to like be in the studio while AJ was actually like editing the songs, so me being able to say like, I want this to like leave the breath there, or like make this louder, or soften this, or can you clip that, or can you elongate this, can you fix like this note. It was really, really amazing being able to do that. I knew that I had a really strong creative vision for 𝒉𝒂𝒓𝒕𝒔𝒊𝒄𝒌, and the reason why it's called 𝒉𝒂𝒓𝒕𝒔𝒊𝒄𝒌 is because pretty much all of the songs are about my family. They're either about my family or about just like myself in general. I always do this thing where I kind of like make myself sick to my stomach when I think about things too much just because I have anxiety. And so I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially with their family. And so I was just kind of like thinking of names with that feeling of like nostalgia and anxiety. I just came across the word 𝒉𝒂𝒓𝒕𝒔𝒊𝒄𝒌, and I just knew that was going to be the name of the EP. I had actually started working on the promotional aspects of the EP way before I had recorded it, because I knew that I wanted the EP to be released on November 21st because it was my birthday. And I felt super strongly about this EP, and it was really special to me, and because I had been working on it for so long, I had like a hard date that it needed to be released on that day. So I had to make sure that before I actually recorded the EP that I had to do all of the promotional photos and videos beforehand. So I actually started working on the promotional photos in August. And the very first photos that I did was the cover. Idea kind of like manifested into something totally different, because originally I just wanted like blue and black and white, kind of like Evanescence cover. And I wanted it to be on like a white background. We went to my 𝒉𝒆𝒂𝒓𝒕𝒔𝒊𝒄𝒌 because I have this like super huge big piece of like white backdrop that I used for my sculptures that I can't keep here in my apartment because it's like super tall and it just won't fit in here. So I keep it at my 𝒉𝒆𝒂𝒓𝒕𝒔𝒊𝒄𝒌 house. So we went to my 𝒉𝒆𝒂𝒓𝒕𝒔𝒊𝒄𝒌, and she lives on Long Island, so it's like 2.5 hours from the city when you take the train and then have to take an Uber and blah blah blah. So I packed up like a bag of stuff and brought my lights and my camera, and I forced my fiance to do everything for me. And he's a really great photographer, so I got lucky with that. We went to her house, and it sucked so badly because it wasn't supposed to rain, and then it was like thunderstorms. And I remember because it was like an elaborate setup outside, because I had to like tape the backdrop to like the side of the house and then like bring out extension cords because all the lights had to be set up, and then like doing my hair and makeup always takes me like 2 hours. And so we finally like got the setup, and I had gone to the thrift store, and like I really wanted to have like a teddy bear in the photo, so I had like gone to the thrift store, bought a bunch of like different teddy bears, trying to like figure out which one I wanted. And then we finally sit down to do these freaking photos, and after a half an hour it started pouring rain, and like we had started to feel droplets. And because the backdrop is paper and all of my equipment I can't get ruined, we had to like stop the photo shoot early. I only got a select number of photos. I don't know if I want to insert them because I feel like I looked so ugly that day. I really hate the promotional photos. I think maybe that's why I like heavily edited them, because I just didn't like the way that they came out, and I didn't have an opportunity to do it again because that was like literally my only time that I could have taken those photos, and then it got like messed up. I only had a couple of photos to work with, and I thought I looked horrible in them. I felt like I looked really fat, and I just looked sweaty, and my hair looked like crap because I wasn't able to get it done before, because I was getting it done in October for the baby shower. Getting my hair done here in New York, I just got my hair done because I wanted my hair to be done for when my sister has her baby, because I don't want her baby to like look back on pictures of me and be like, why was her hair so messed up? This hair was $750, not including the tip. In Maryland, my hair is like $350, and they do it like way better, and they style it. And shout out to Crystal King at Willow in Maine. She's like the best hairstylist on the Eastern Shore. She could be a celebrity hairstylist. She's the one who like normally always does my hair. Like if you guys have been following me for a while, if you remember like my blue hair with the green and the yellow neon, she did that. She did the pink and blue half and half hair. She did my rainbow dash hair where it was like dark blue and then a rainbow underneath. Pretty much like all of my cool hairstyles she's done except for this one. So we come back to my apartment. I'm sad because I don't have any good pictures, and I'm like really trying to figure out how I can edit this so that it doesn't look like garbage. And I just had this idea to just do it as a composition notebook, because when I was in high school, I used to journal a lot and my diary was always just a plain composition notebook. And I feel like a lot of my music and my art kind of like correlates. Already released Dear Diary, and so I was like, it would be super cool if this connected, and I did like the composition notebook of my diary as Heartsick. Once I was done with the cover art of the EP, I knew that I wanted to do like some kind of visualizers because I really wanted to do a music video, but I didn't have enough time because I had this idea that I wanted to do these like collage stop motions because I didn't have enough money to do like a full music video because it costs thousands of dollars and also just takes a really long time to edit. And because it cost so much money to do the 6 songs, $2,000, I didn't have enough money to do a music video. So I had to figure out a way for me to do a music video that wouldn't really cost me any money. So I saw on TikTok this really creative thing that people were doing, and it's basically like taking a video on your iPhone or your camera and then taking each frame and printing it out and kind of like hand editing it, and then taking photos or scanning then the frames that you draw and then putting it back together. And it's kind of like a mixed media, like photography, drawing thing. I had to label each frame. I was able to print stuff out on my work for free, so I probably printed like thousands of papers. The people at the library were probably like, what the fuck is she doing? And so I printed out all of these shots. Let me back up a second. When I was in Maryland recording the EP, I was also shooting promotional videos, but I had already done some around the time I had done the cover photo. So I did some of the videos up on the roof of my apartment building, and I also did some in my bathroom. And then when I was home, I set up my sister's bedroom, which used to be my room. Okay. When I lived in Crisfield. And I wanted to do some like videos there just because like the teenage girl bedroom is something that I come back to a lot, like in my art and music. I took all of these like little videos and I was really cutting it close. I like just barely had enough material to make visualizers. Originally, I wanted to do more. It took me so long to just do those 15-second visualizers. It took me like a whole month just to do one. There could have been an easier way to do this, but I'm going to explain to you how I did this, and you can laugh at me. I took the videos on my phone. Then I screenshotted each frame. Then I had to like crop the screenshots, transfer the screenshots to a Word document, print out the Word document, draw the frames and like color everything, which also took forever. Then had to re-photograph the papers. Well, you have to label everything with numbers so that you make sure you like put it back in the right order. then you have to re-photograph it, then you have to put it into an editing app, and then finally you're done. So it would take me one full day to do maybe like 3 seconds. The original idea was that I wanted to do like a whole music video of these stop motions. Yeah, that was not happening, and I realized that very quickly. I had the cover photo, I had my visualizers, I had just recorded the EP, and now there's like a month left of the there was like a month left before the actual release, but I still wasn't done. I had more things that I wanted to do for the actual release date. Since it was my birthday, I really wanted to have like a cake, but I didn't want it to say happy birthday. I wanted it to say heartsick because I just thought it would like look really cool, and plus I love cakes. Ironically, I don't even like cake. Like, I don't like icing. I think icing tastes disgusting, and I'm not a big cake person. I'm more of like an ice cream person or like a cookie person. Cakes are just like really dry. But I just like the aesthetic of cakes, and I love like looking at icing and like feeling icing, and that's why I do so many of these like fake cakes. So I had the idea, I was like, well, I could make a fake cake or I could order a real cake. But I was like, you know, since it's my birthday, I'll just order a real cake so that me and my fiance and my best friend who was coming from Kentucky, we can all have cake on my birthday. I went to this cake shop that's right by my work, and it's called Billy's Bakery, and I had like ordered this specialty cake. It was so expensive. It was like $300 something, and it was only like a 6-inch cake. If you guys are wondering like where I get this money from, I don't have money. I'm broke. I literally spend all of my money on my creative endeavors that nobody cares about. Yeah. So if you're wondering like, where did she get all this money from? It is all of my money. Like, I don't do anything. I sit in my house all day and I use all of my money to do these like stupid things like buying a $300 something cake. Was this cake worth no. I think so. Like, the aesthetic of the cake came out good. It just like, this is such like a Gen Z thing to say, or like maybe I have TikTok like brain rot. Was the cake worth it for like it actually like tasting good? No. But was it worth it for the picture? Yes. The day of my birthday, I really wanted to wear like a prom dress because I'm just like super in, I mean, I've always been really into like the idea of prom, and I never went to prom when I was in high school. My parents never let me go, and so I feel like I have like missed out on this really big like American dream thing that like everyone always dreams about, is going to prom, and I never got to go. And so now I'm kind of like obsessed with it. And I have been. I was really sad when I was in high school and I couldn't go. Even though I grew up in a really small town and everyone just complained and said that prom was shitty, but I would have loved to go. Even though I had no friends and nobody liked me and nobody would have been my date, but just like go anyways. An obsession with prom dresses. I collect prom dresses, and also I just knew that I wanted a prom dress for this photo shoot. And so when I was thrifting on the weekend looking for that bear at my Mima's house, I found this dress, and it was like God blessed me and came down and he handed me this beautiful dress, and it was only like $10. This thrift store by her house, it's called Island Thrift, and it's like it's a veterans thrift store, and they have like the best stuff. That's where I got this shirt from. This is a Betsy Johnson top, and pretty much like all of my cool clothes I get from that thrift store. I also love Goodwill, like the Salisbury Goodwill, but you have to really kind of like look hard and go every day, whereas like this thrift store, it's very cheap and they just have good stuff every time you go there. Here in the city, it can be hard to thrift because all of the shops are basically like boutique shops, so you're not gonna find anything for less than like $50. You have to go kind of like into Queens or far into Brooklyn. There's a store, there's like a chain called L Train Vintage here. They have a lot of locations, but the best location if you live in New York City is the St. Nicholas Street, Brooklyn location. It's like an hour and 20 minutes from my house because I live in Manhattan. But they're reasonably priced, still not as cheap as if you were to live rurally. I'm talking like $15 to $20, but it's cheaper than like the boutique stores here. I also find some good stuff there, but I don't get to go very often because it's kind of far away. Found this pink dress, and I also had Maggie go on a mission, and she got a prom dress that she shoved into her backpack. And on the day of my birthday, actually I lied. We recorded these videos like the day before my birthday, and then the actual day of my birthday we went to Wendy's and we did a Mixie and Munchie video. So we went out, we like did our makeup all up, we're wearing these prom dresses, it's freezing outside. We go pick up the cake in our prom dresses. We sat on the bench and we took some like pictures, and that was where the like heartsick photo that I actually posted on my birthday was taken. But then we also, again, here's me copying Olivia Rodrigo. She had done these like videos on TikTok of her in London promoting like seeing you tonight. It's a bad idea, right? Oh yeah, the song's called Bad Idea. And so I was like, I want to do one of these for my songs, except for ours came out like way worse, and we like, I just look horrible in videos. I'm a good catfish on like a photograph, but in a video I just, yeah, it's bad. So we did that, and we spent like the whole day going around. Like we did videos in the park, we did videos in bodegas. Tell me why I thought a bodega was a chain store. I've been living in New York for 5 years, and everyone's like, oh, bodega, bodega. And every time somebody says, I go, oh yeah, I've never been to a bodega. A bodega is the corner store. And so I just kept telling people I'd never been. Anyways, let me look at my list. So yeah, the day I released Heartsick was my birthday, and it was like the best day ever, and I'm super glad that Maggie was able to come here, and she stayed for like the whole week, and she stayed for Thanksgiving, and it was just a really great time. That's pretty much the whole story of how I made Heartsick and all of my inspiration behind it. I want to talk a little bit about my unreleased music and my next creative project. My current musical endeavor is going to be releasing a song, I think probably again at the end of the year, just because I'm not going to be able to record it until the summer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to either do another collage stop motion music video, or I want to do like a claymation. A claymation is a really, really big endeavor. I don't know if you guys know anything about claymation, but I might be biting off more than I can chew again with what I want to do. If I record the song in the summer, then hopefully by the end of the year, that'll give me enough time to complete the full video, but it's gonna take me a really long time, and I'm gonna have to work on it like every single day. So, but I just feel really passionate about my art and my music, and I just pour everything into it because I have no other life and no friends. So that's how I have so much time to do all of this stuff. Thanks for listening, and let me know what your favorite song off of Heartsick is. Thanks for supporting my art and my music, and if you don't already, please subscribe and follow my Instagram and TikTok at Arielle Tesoriero. All right, thanks. Bye, guys.